5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 419 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Our work week is coming to an end, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about on today's podcast because I have a ton of NFL and college football plays for you guys upcoming for today, for Saturday. Did you know there's 2 Saturday NFL games as well as college football playoff games? And then, of course, we got Sunday NFL. I even have a play for you that I think we should grab right now for Monday Night Football with San Francisco and the Indianapolis Colts. So a ton to get to. One college play for tonight. Big college football playoff game here, Oklahoma and Alabama, as well as one college playoff game for tomorrow. I have 2 NFL plays for tomorrow, and then 3 on Sunday for the NFL, 1 on Monday. So really got a laundry list of plays to talk about and walk through here for today. And of course, because it is Friday, December 19th, we are now, 6 days away from Christmas. So if you are scrambling, and this is really kind of your last weekend to get everything together, last-minute shopping, getting your stocking stuffers, getting your gift for your uncle, your nephew, whoever it may be, I'm just going to tell you one last time that you can make it easy on yourself. Make me happy and make that person receiving this gift happy by going to Amazon.com, typing in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook, as well as my first book, The Everything Guide to Sports Betting. If you get it now, you still have a few days, but get it now. It'll be delivered in time. You can get it wrapped, get it in the stocking or under the tree. But it's really just everything we talk about from a day-driven perspective, how to approach betting overall for all the different sports. That's the Everything Guide. And then, of course, in particular for the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. So if you'd like to grab one or both of my books, they would really mean a lot to me. And I think the person getting that gift, they're going to like it more than a flannel shirt. Let's leave it at that. So just want to remind you guys. But anyway, looking back to our last night, guys, OMG, what a sweat. Arguably the greatest game of the entire season. And not only did we win, but we nailed it because the Seattle Seahawks came from behind. They were down. They took a lead when Walker had that long touchdown run. Then they get down by 14 points in the fourth quarter, late third quarter, fourth quarter. Sam Darnold, I'm like, why did I bet Sam Darnold? I was waiting for the interceptions, and he threw multiple picks, and I'm like, Jesus, Darnold, you are just terrible. But Seattle Seahawks, just when one of my favorite quotes of all time, it's always darkest before the dawn, the dark night. I think that was Commissioner Gordon who said that. But man, the Seahawks fought back. Again, unbelievable. And I saw everyone complaining about the refs, and Puka Nacua obviously tweeted something out after the game. It was all the refs. People were saying the 2-point conversion was the incorrect call, but no, it was a backward pass, and you did see the Seattle Seahawks recover the ball. So that was a huge play. And then, of course, obviously you get late into the game, just unbelievable, going for the 2-point conversion, winning it at the end, unbelievable. And why was that such a huge play? Well, of course, we got a win, so we were 1-0 plus 0.83 units. So it was a winning night. That's all we care about. But this is something that is so near and dear to my heart. I say it all the time, and last night was a perfect example of why you moneyline short favorites. Always moneyline short favorites. Why? Because, again, if you look at that closing line, it was a good sign for us because some books closed, Seattle as high as -2. They were pretty much sitting -1.5. But the important thing there is Seattle only won by 1. So if you had laid a 1.5, and again, you always hear this, if you really, or at least I do because I'm a big proponent of always moneylining short favorites. I tweeted something out, and of course, people were battling me, trying to argue the opposite. But it's just for reasons like last night why you do this. Because if you laid a 1.5 with Seattle, or a 2, of course, I even saw one book, I think, close 2.5 out in Circa in Vegas. I always like when Circa is more bullish on a side than other books because they're really sharp. Tells me the sharp money's on that side. But if you laid the 1.5 or more, you lost Seattle on the spread. But because we went money line, we protected ourselves. We got that decent money line price. What was it? I think it was -120-ish, -125. It was worth those extra few cents there because Seattle walked it off, going for 2, and gave us a winner. So again, when you hear me say always money line short favorites, last night is a perfect test case why. It was the difference between a win and a loss. And I also hear people argue like, yeah, lay the 1.5 and you'll just save the juice. But that's basically the difference between winning 0.83 units and 0.89 units, 0.9. You're still going to win. You're just winning a little less, but you're gaining the added protection of the outcome being exactly what we saw last night. So just an unbelievable sweat with the Seahawks. My heart was racing in that fourth quarter, especially getting down by 2 scores, but Seattle battled back. Just unbelievable ending. So Seahawks got us a nice little 1-0 plus a 0.83 unit night. So that being said, let's see if we can keep the good vibes going and talk about one play for tonight, and then I got a huge list of plays for this weekend. So the one game that I'm focused on tonight, Alabama and Oklahoma. Now, this one is very, very interesting for a variety of reasons, but I do have an official play for you in this matchup. So, going into it, got to know, number one, this is not a bowl game. It is a college football playoff game. First round, so obviously the stakes are high. We don't have to worry about opt-outs or motivation or coaching staffs who are leaving. They're both playing everybody, and they're both going to try to win this game. So, it's kind of a bit of an equalizer there. But anyway, let's set the stage, talk splits, line movement, see what Rhythm and Juice Reel have to say, and I'll give you my play here. So, coming into it, we got Bama. By the way, 8 o'clock kick tonight. Bama is 10-3. They're the 9 seed. They just got rolled by Georgia 28-7 in the SEC championship game. Did not cover as a 1.5-point neutral site dog. Meanwhile, Oklahoma 10-2. They're the 8 seed. Just held off LSU 17-13 in their last game, but did not cover as a 12.5-point home favorite. So, what have you seen across the market here? Well, this game opened Bama listed around a 1.5-point road favorite, and the public doesn't know what to do. They know Bama is a huge powerhouse, but of course they also got rolled by Georgia. Oklahoma, new to the SEC, good record, but I think there's this kind of bias a bit toward Bama, just name recognition, kind of like the Yankees, the pinstripes, something like that. But it's interesting to me that if you look at DraftKings, the tickets are right down the middle, 50-50. Public doesn't know what to do. They're saying Bama at basically a super short pick 'em or now even a dog. More on that in a second. Or Oklahoma with true home field advantage, basically now laying a short number. So public split, they don't know what to do, 50-50. And what do we always talk about when we start with splits that are 50-50? Well, number one, we say, okay, no contrarian value because there's no heavy predominant lopsided side where you can go the other way. But 50-50 ticket split, again, we're not talking money, we're talking tickets. You would assume in a vacuum, theoretically speaking, a line shouldn't move at all because bets are even. You got equal amount on both sides, so therefore you really shouldn't see that line move one way or the other. However, that's not what has happened here. Even though it's 50-50, this line has shifted dog to fave in favor of Oklahoma. So Oklahoma reminds me a lot of Seattle last night, dog to fave. Obviously, I hope we don't have to sweat it that hard, but no matter what it takes, I'll sweat this thing to the bitter end. We just got to get the Sooners to win this game. But we have this dog to fave in favor of Oklahoma, who went from plus 1.5 to now minus 1.5. Some books 1.5 around there. But if you look at Circa, this is what's interesting to me. DK is 50-50, but at Circa, only 42% spread bets, but 86% of spread dollars are on Oklahoma. So even though the public across the country is split at DK, you're getting a huge low bets, higher dollar split on Oklahoma at Circa, where the wise guys are at. So, as I mentioned before, perfect example last night. I'm not going to lay a 1.5, have them win by 1, and we lose our bet. So I went money line here. I was able to get Oklahoma minus 112 at FanDuel. Other shops, again, shop around because there are a few others like minus 115. But aside from the dog to fave line move, we also have Oklahoma at Circa getting 47% money line bets, but 61% money line dollars. So low bets, higher dollar split on the money line as well. Tells me pros out in Vegas also going money line here. One big advantage for Oklahoma, though, I'm going to give them a rest advantage because they last played on November 29th. Alabama last played on December 6th. So that's a full week rest advantage, which, again, rest, rehab, injuries, but also game film, preparing against Alabama. Hopefully an advantage there. Sooners do have the better defense, only giving up 14.9 points per game. Crimson Tide giving up 18.8. Oklahoma did beat Alabama earlier this year, I remember, because we took the points there. Plus 6.5 on the road. They won 23-21. And then we get into a couple other angles here. I pop open Rhythm, and Rhythm is also telling me to play Oklahoma. I have 2 Rhythm models. Get a load of this, guys. One model has Oklahoma minus 2.8. Another model has Oklahoma minus 5.8. So again, favored by 3 as high as 6, and we can money line a favorite around -1, -1.5. Love that. One of the recommended plays is also a Green Star money line recommendation. So again, also gets me a little bit more confident to play Oklahoma. Lastly, I popped open Juice Reel, noticed a 14% sharp mush edge in favor of the Sooners. So you add it all up here, guys. We got a dog to fave move on Oklahoma, 50-50 line move at DK, but super contrarian, low bets, higher dollars at Circa. Rest advantage, better defense, good rhythm edge, Juice Reel, sharp mush edge as well. Add it all up, I'm going Oklahoma Sooners money line. Again, you can get them as low as -112 at FanDuel, some shops like -115. Now, in terms of the total, just want to mention this. I didn't play it, but it is a bit of a line freeze windy under because it opened at like 40.5, got up to 41.5. Now it's back down to 40.5, even though about 70% of tickets at DK are going over. And we do have high 40s, so it's not freezing cold in Oklahoma, but 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So that is a windy under system match. So again, I'm not playing the total because I feel like my edge is greater on the side, but just wanted to mention that windy kind of line freeze. It really hasn't moved. It did tick up slightly, but came back down, even though public is hammering the over. So I'll root for anyone who's playing the under here. You might be able to get a 41 instead of a 40.5, but my play is a dog to fave, sharp rhythm edge, Sooners money line. Let's go Sooners. Win the damn game. Next one for you. Let's go to tomorrow. Big matchup here between Miami, Florida, and Texas A&M. So this is your noon game tomorrow. I really don't understand why this is a noon game because James Madison, Oregon is the primetime game, but Oregon's favored by 21. Tulane, Ole Miss is your 3:30 game. Ole Miss is favored by 17. The shortest and most competitive game, why would you put it at noon? I don't get that. Texas A&M, Florida should be your 8 o'clock game. Whatever. I don't make the schedule. But if I was, I would definitely put this at 8 o'clock. Anyway, Miami is 10-2, the 10 seed. Texas A&M 11-1, the 7 seed. Miami has won 4 straight, just beat Pittsburgh their last time out, 38-7. Aggies 11-1, but they just suffered their first loss to Texas, 27-17. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened A&M listed around a 3.5-point home favorite, and the public is saying, "Give me A&M all day." You know, they have a slightly better record, better ranking. They're at home. It's a relatively short number. So right now you're getting nearly 70% of spread bets at DK laying it with the Aggies. However, Aggies haven't gone up -3.5 to -4, -5. Nope. They're actually getting juiced up on the Miami side. +3.5, -115, and quite a few other books are actually down to 3. So this is a true line freeze or reverse line move play. Public A&M, very heavily bet game on ABC. Again, it's not a prime time, but it's your early game that's very heavily bet. And even though public's on Aggies, the liability with the juice and the line movement is going toward Miami, Florida. So I took +3.5 with Miami. You can still get them +3.5, -115 at BetMGM. Other books are like +3.5, -120, and a lot of books are down to 3. But you got to get the hook here. Miami loses by 3, most common key number. We got to be able to cover with that hook. In addition, we have Miami as a dog who can score system match. So they average 33.1 points per game. So if a dog's going to cover a number for you, they have either got to have a great defense, keep it low scoring and cover, or be able to put up points, keep pace or backdoor cover. Carson Beck, also veteran QB, obviously was with Georgia. And then we get to our rhythm models. I have 2 rhythm models, both recommending Miami. First one is Miami +2.5. Second one is Miami +3.1. So it's not like they're saying this should be a 1-point game or a pick'em game, but still, if you can get that 3.5, which you can still get it, it's available, you're getting about a full point or a half-point edge over the rhythm recommendation. So everyone's on Texas A&M, but the juice and the movement's going toward Miami. We got a rhythm edge. We got a dog who can score system match. We have a contrarian play and a very heavily bet playoff game. I took the U +3.5. Let's win the damn game outright or lose by 3 or less. Now let's talk about some games for tomorrow in the NFL, because if you haven't paid attention yet, I'm sure you guys know, but we do have 2 NFL games for Saturday, and I got plays on both of them. So let's start off with the 5 o'clock game. We have the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Washington Commanders. Obviously, this is kind of a discrepancy in terms of you would think playoff chances and all that, because Philly comes in 9-5. Philly is fighting to win, or they hopefully will win their division easily. I bet them -170 before the year started, future to win the NFC East. But going for a high seed, looking toward the playoffs. Commanders, the opposite. Jaden Daniels has been shut down. They're 4-10. They actually had a long losing streak before they beat the Giants last week, 29-21. Eagles just shut out Vegas, 31-0. But for the 5 o'clock game here for tomorrow, a couple things jump out to me. Number one, nobody wants to play Washington. Philadelphia Eagles, they opened as low as -5.5, -6. Now they've been bet up all the way to the key number of 7. And right now, 81% of spread bets are on Philly. So anytime you get an island game like this, 5 o'clock tomorrow, and 81% of bets are on the favorite, I'm thinking about going with the dog here, and that's what I'm doing. Give me Washington +7, guys. A couple things going on here. Number one, inflated line off the opener. So they opened 5.5, 6. Now you can get a 7. Better number. Again, also because some money came in on Philly. You gotta respect that too. But if you look at the +7s, a lot of them are +7 -110, but some are +7 -115. So I'm wondering, does it get back down to 6.5 between today and tomorrow? That will be a good sign if you're going to go Commanders with me and sweat Marcus Mariota. However, +7 Washington. It is your number one contrarian play, not only of Saturday, but of the entire weekend. They're only getting 19% of spread bets. You also look at a divisional dog. Divisional dogs, again, they've been decent this year, 37-34 against the spread, 52%, but they're closer to 54%. 4% ROI since 2020, built-in familiarity, leveling the playing field, benefiting the team, getting points. And you also have a relatively big dog low total. So total in this one is 44.5, and you're getting a 7. That's another angle here that's worth getting behind. Also, we've talked about Jalen Hurts before, but guy's great as a dog, and he's pretty good as a short favorite, but laying 6 points or more, he's only covering like 38% of the time. So is this a Philly win? Probably, but can Washington lose by 6 or less? I think there's a case to be made here. And oh, by the way, I popped open Rhythm, and I have 3 models on this game. One says Washington should only be +0.6, which is a little crazy, but +1.2, and another model +3.9. So even if you take the 3.9, maybe a 4-point game, maybe a 5, maybe a 6-point game, to me this isn't a sharp play on Washington, but it is your number one bet against the public play. Only 19% of spread bets, divisional dog, inflated dog, with some really good rhythm edges here. So I played Washington +7. I got -110, but shop around. I think it was BetMGM. A lot of other books, though, are +7, -115. I actually do see one book down to 6.5, so hopefully that 7 will be your best number. So give me Washington +7. Green Bay, Chicago, your 8:20 game tomorrow night. Your primetime matchup here. Should be a great one. We have Green Bay 9-4-1, Chicago Bears 10-4. Packers had a big winning streak end. They lost to Denver 34-26. Fine by us because we had Denver +2.5 there. Bears, by the way, they have won, 4 of their last 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 7. Just beat Cleveland 31-3. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, I don't know if it's just something in the air, but we got another dog to fave line move because Green Bay opened this game as high as a -3 favorite on the road, -3.5. And we've seen this line now flip to Chicago -1.5. So big injury here, obviously. You have Micah Parsons, who's out for the year now. Gave up those multiple first-round picks, and then he tore his ACL. And I was seeing there were a few other injuries on the Green Bay side. But very clear here, dog to fave in favor of Chicago. Now, you look at the splits at DraftKings, 63% bets, but 78% dollars on Chicago spread. Circa, 75% bets, but over 90% dollars on the spread. So I don't love that it's technically public, slight lean here. But we have low bets, higher dollars, and we have that dog to fave line move in favor of Chicago. We also have a really good money line split. So I played Chicago on the money line at -121 at Ballybets, or Ballybet in Massachusetts. Other books are as high as -125, -130. But I like how Chicago is like -1.5, -2, but at Circa, they're -2 juiced up like it may go to 2.5. So again, it's always notable to me when Circa is more bullish on a side because it tells me smart money's in that direction. DraftKings money line, 64% bets, 87% dollars. You also look at one angle that we remember from last night in the Patriots-Bills game is that when you're playing a divisional opponent for the second time, it's kind of hard for that team who won the first game to win the second game. It's just, there's kind of a leveling of the playing field, and it's really hard to sweep a divisional series. So we saw with the Patriots-Bills where Pats won the first one, Bills won the second one. Rams-Seahawks. Remember, Rams won the first one, Seattle won last night. So Green Bay did hold on to beat Chicago. They were, I think, minus 6.5 just 2 weeks ago, and they beat the Bears 28-21 and actually covered the spread there. Well, this is the second go-around, and they're at home. So I think that kind of rivalry or revenge angle does bode well here for Chicago. But we have a dog to fave line move. We also have a 7% sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel on the Chicago money line. And I did notice that Rhythm has one Green Star recommended play on the Chicago money line as well. So prime time in Chicago, dog to fave. Give me Ditka and the Bears. I got the Bears money line, minus 121. Now, a few plays for Sunday. We haven't really talked about these, but we were talking about them last night on the Rhythm Rundown, so thank you all who tuned in last night. Reminder, if you want Rhythm, you can use promo code START25 to get 25% off. And Rhythm also just added a bet sync, so that's really cool. You can go right from the Rhythm app to your sportsbook and get your bets in. But I have 3 plays for tomorrow. So the first one, I'm going Giants +3. Giants are at home against Minnesota. It's a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. And we've seen a big move toward the Vikings because a lot of books open as low as, Vikings minus 1.5. And we saw the Vikings get all the way to -3. And really nobody wants to play the Giants in this one. Giants are only getting 28% of spread bets. So everyone's playing J.J. McCarthy. Remember, I got to give them credit because they had a big win for us last week with the Minnesota Vikings going to the Cowboys and getting that win. What was the final score? 36-24. So I think people are just saying, oh, J.J. McCarthy's actually good. Vikings have a better record. They're 6-8. G-Men are only 2-12. But it opened minus 1.5 Minnesota. Got to the key number of 3. But here's the important thing. Even though everybody and their mother is on Vikings, they're getting 72% of spread bets. We didn't go through the 3 and get up to 3.5. We're starting to come back down to 2.5. So that's an indicator to me that you had some respected money, hit the Giants +3, bring that number back down toward 2.5. Now the key here is you got to get the 3 because a lot of books are down to 2.5. But I did notice a couple were still at +3, minus 120. You do have Ballybet at +3, minus 117. So that's what I jumped on. But again, shop around, make sure you can get the key number of 3 because if G-Men lose by 3, we want to push that bet instead of lose that bet. But super contrarian, only 28% bets, but 67% dollars on Jackson Dart and the G-Men. Circa 45% spread bets, 70% dollars on the G-Men. You're also buying low. Vikings have won 2 in a row. Giants have lost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. So kind of the ultimate buy low, sell high. It is a low total of 43, so you can get that dog +2. And oh, by the way, I have 3 Rhythm models. One says this game should be a dead pick'em, plus 0.0. Another one, 0.3. Another one, 0.9. So if Rhythm is saying it should be about a pick'em or a 1-point game, we can still shop around and get that 3. It is available at a couple shops. You got to get that 3. It's really key. And we're very contrarian. But again, the key thing to me is the 3s are now starting to fall back, which tells me a lot of sharps did hit Giants +3. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm taking the G-Men +3. Next one for you. Chargers and Cowboys. You got to take the Chargers, right? The Chargers are a dog. You got to take the Chargers, right? But nope. What have we been saying all year long? Especially, I would say, the last month or so. We've been saying that we hate playing the Cowboys when they are popular and everyone is on the boys bandwagon, but we love playing them when they're unpopular and no one wants to play them. So remember, Dallas Cowboys against the Eagles were very unpopular, won the game outright. Against the Chiefs, unpopular, won the game outright, but they were a bit of a trendy dog against Detroit and got rolled, and they were a very trendy favorite against Minnesota and lost last week. So this is actually a very rare, sharp, fade the trendy dog play in favor of the Cowboys. Like, give me the boys here, guys. I like the Cowboys in this spot. The more I'm looking at this game, the more it jumps out to me. So Dallas Cowboys opened mostly around -1.5, -2. You've pretty much stayed -1.5, -2. Some books are even at 2.5 here, even though no one wants to play the boys. Nearly 70% of spread bets are going Chargers. Yeah, you got to take the Chargers. They're 10-4, and they're getting points against Dallas. You got to play the Chargers. But I think it's a good spot to back a desperate Cowboys team. Because to keep their hopes alive, they got to win this thing. And for us, again, we need a win. So I went money line with the boys once again. I'm not laying a 1.5, 2.5, have them win by 1 or 2 and I lose. So I got Cowboys at minus 127. I believe that was Bally Bet or it might have been BetMGM. But they're only getting around 30% of bets, but nearly 60% of dollars at DK. It's kind of a line freeze. They're still a favorite, even though everyone's playing the Chargers. So it tells me books don't want to drop the line and give out a better number to contrarian Cowboys bettors. Money line at DK, 33% bets, 44% dollars. And then I also have 3 smart signals on the Cowboys money line, all from Rhythm. So again, moral of the story here, guys, Cowboys, you look at them one of 2 ways. They're popular. People are supporting the boys, believing in the boys. We want to fade them. But when they're gross, when no one wants to touch them, when everyone says the wrong team is favored, and they're hammering the Chargers, yet the line's staying pretty much right where it's at, tells me we got a good opportunity to back Dallas on the money line in this one. I have a system too. Let's see, non-conference favorites straight up. They've been really good historically. They're 70% this year, 49-21. They're 71% since 2020. So give me the boys here. Money line, minus 127. Last one coming up on Sunday before we wrap up with a Monday night game. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are at home against the Bengals, 1 o'clock on Sunday. And this is just, to me, a huge overreaction because Joe Burrow, again, weird things are going on with him. He's press conferences, he's talking philosophically about life, and it's just, I don't know, maybe he's done with Cincinnati. But if you look at Miami, Tua Tagovailoa has been benched. So he is not only the backup but the third string, and they're going to start Quinn Ewers, who you remember from the Texas Longhorns last year, who I thought was pretty good. He ended up being a 7th-round pick. But anyway, when this game was thought to be Tua, it was basically a pick'em game or -1, 1.5 with Cincy. Well, now this line with Quinn Ewers in has gone all the way up to Cincy -4.5. So again, a huge adjustment with Ewers in for Tua. And to me, part of the angle here is just the fact that you don't have to put up 1 million points, but can you just not turn it over? I mean, how many times have I sweat the Dolphins when Tua throws picks and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So maybe the advantage here is just, again, limiting the turnovers. But anyway, +4.5. I jumped on Miami +4.5. Feels like an overreaction play. It's very contrarian. Dolphins are only getting 32% of spread bets, but nearly 60% of spread dollars. Inflated dog opportunity. You also have conference home dogs 5 or less. They've covered 57% of the time since 2018. And Cincy, I know it's Burrow, but what kind of frame of mind is he in? And their defense isn't very good. I think T. Higgins still might be banged up. I don't know his status. But I'm going to buy low and take Miami here. +4.5. You got to shop around because some books are at 4. But the other angle is an 18% sharp mush edge from Juice Reel. So that's a pretty sizable one. And then Rhythm. I have 3 models. Miami +1.4. Miami +1.6. And I have one model that says Miami should be favored. -1.3. And this is factoring in Quinn Ewers. So you got it all up here, guys. You got to get the hook. But I'm going to play a good Rhythm discrepancy. A buy low inflated dog. I got Miami +4.5. Lastly, again, we're going to come back on Monday for, that'll be episode, what are we at? That'll be 420 of the pod, where my, I'm not going to make a joke there, but maybe we'll watch the movie Half Baked on Monday as well. But anyway, San Fran and the Indianapolis Colts. Everybody's on San Fran. You look at the splits right now, you are getting nearly 70% of tickets on the 49ers, but they open -5.5, -6, and they really haven't moved at all. You're still 5.5 or 6. So if 7 out of 10 bets are on the 49ers, why aren't they up to -7, -8? That hasn't happened. Tells me liability on the Colts here, Mr. Old Man Rivers. So we are a Monday night game, super contrarian. Colts only getting 30% of bets. At Circa, they're only getting 23% bets, but 64% dollars. There's a 17% sharp mush edge on the Colts. And Rhythm has 3 models. Colts +3.3, Colts +4.3, and Colts +2.5. So I'm going to play Old Man Rivers. And again, a lot of books are at 5.5, but you should be able to find that 6. I got +6, -110. Some shops are, again, +6, -115, -120, and some are at 5.5. So 6 is a kind of a bit of a key number. That's why I wanted to mention it today, so you can get the 6, so that if it's down to 5.5, or maybe it's down to 5, who knows, on Monday, you want to be holding that CLV in your pocket. So I did play Colts +6. So that about does it, guys. Hit on a lot of games there. Should be hopefully a good weekend. A lot of great action to bet on. Didn't even mention college basketball. Huge slate tomorrow. But that should keep us occupied with some great football games. And don't worry, college hoops, I'm a huge college hoops guy. I've had a couple guys DM me and say, where are your college basketball plays? And I'm like, hey, football is where it's at right now. We're doing pretty decent, knock on wood, and want to capitalize because it's nearing the end of the season, and pretty soon, it'll be all college basketball. Don't worry. Once we get to conference play and the calendar gets into January. Let's see if we can maximize our edge, again, as an old mentor of mine used to say. But anyway, guys, with that being said, wrapping up the pod here with a few final thoughts, words of wisdom, some resources. First off, I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day. Betting sharp contrarian plays, money lining short favorites. When people are crying they lost a 1.5, we say, yep, you should have money lined that one. But anyway, if you would like to help me grow this podcast, please could you give it a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Rate and review. Leave a nice comment. Click the follow button. Retweet the pod when I put it out. Recommend the pod to a friend. That would all be fantastic. Next, as I mentioned before, holiday season's coming up. If you enjoy these breakdowns, this style of betting, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or you got to get a gift for that person in your life that you have no clue what to get them, well, you should go to Amazon.com. Type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Grab one or both of my books. Bring them the sports book. I'll sign them for you, and I'll buy you a beer. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My two favorite sports betting apps. Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. And then, of course, Juice Reel, so many great features, including the ability to track every single best bet from this podcast. You can get it right from Juice Reel. It costs $4.99 a week, but think of it as tipping your podcast host, getting the plays early, or maybe just a Christmas bonus for your guy over here. But I'd love for you guys to support the pod, get those $4.99 a week best bets. You also get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures, all available when you download Juice Reel. So download Juice Reel, download Rhythm, give them a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, you have a live odds page. If you don't have one, you need one. It's super important. Got to be able to track line movement and identify dog to fave line moves. Very easy on the live odds page. You see the top team, open -1, -2. Now the bottom team is -1, -2. So that's huge. Got to be able to track line movement, splits, not splits, but shop for the best price, pull up the line history, identify steam. You can do all of that and also monitor the market. That's the biggest thing. Get live in-game wagering odds with Odds Logic. So if you want to give it a shot, 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month, just go to oddslogic.com/Josh123. Lastly, Novig. Have you downloaded Novig yet? Novig is a sports betting exchange and not a sports book. So as a result, you are getting a better juice price on every single game. So for example, I'm looking at Oklahoma-Bama. You get Bama +1.5 -103. You get Oklahoma -1.5 at +100. You get over 40.5 -106, under 40.5 +100. So because you don't have to pay the juice to the book, and you're in an exchange, which means you're exchanging money and bets between other bettors, you're getting better juice prices. So you can win at the same rate you would betting every game at DraftKings or FanDuel, but make more money because you're risking less juice, which means you risk a unit, you're getting more on the back end. So you're making more money. And when you're doing well and winning, you're not going to get limited or booted. So download Novig, fund your account by using promo code Josh123. It'll tack on another $25 to your account. Lastly, because the playoffs are getting closer every single day, please would you think about joining my Splash Sports Survivor contest for the NFL playoffs? I might have DM'd you guys, but I tweeted about it. It's in the description of the podcast. $25. Right now you can join, but obviously we won't have the games and the slate until the playoffs come around, which I think is the 11th of January. But I'd love for someone to turn $25 into $5K, as our buddy Manny Davison did with the inaugural Appelbaum Splash contest there. So that about does it for episode 419 of the ASG pod on a big Fade the Public Friday. As always, guys, couple final thoughts. One, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash in my neck of the woods in Nashua, New Hampshire, on the border of New Hampshire and Massachusetts, or, of course, out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you catch a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me. You're going to show me a beautiful Seahawks money line ticket. That's why we money line short favorites, guys. Saves you. You win the game by 1. You're not going to cover a 1.5 or 2, but you will win your money line bet. So show me a Seahawks ticket, and we'll reinvest it into Oklahoma tonight. So as always, guys, coming off a 1-0 or an 0-1, a winning night, a losing night, a great week, a terrible week, a hot stretch, a cold stretch. There's going to be ups and downs in betting. There's going to be nights where 2-point conversions go our way, crazy situations like last night, or you win on a walk-off 2-point conversion. There's going to be nights when you lose on a walk-off 2-point conversion that is against you or your team doesn't convert. But that's betting. But you know what we can do? We may not be able to control the outcome, but we can monitor the market, identify the smart side with our head and not our heart, and put ourselves in the best position to cash. So again, we're always looking to find games that fit our model against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So have a great Friday night, everybody. Have an even better weekend. I'll see you back on Monday for episode 420 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great weekend.